Flora is a bit of an interesting case for me because as a kid I related to her the most. That being said, she wasn't my favourite character. Bloom was, because I liked fire. So that's something. But Flora is the fairy of nature, which mostly means flowers, but she can also talk to trees, so that's a plus. And she's her color palette is mostly pinks with some greens, so that's also something to remember. Her appearance apparently is loosely based on Jennifer Lopez, so I looked at some pictures and stuff like that for outfit inspirations. Sometimes I'm sticking to the real life inspirations more so than others, and sometimes I'm just going, Flora would wear this, so that's what's happening. I mostly did that with Musa though, so Flora out of all of them is definitely the most timid and shy, and her character development throughout the series is about her getting some self-confidence and being a bit more self-assured. So since I'm trying to do season 1, maybe 2 designs, I kind of wanted to push her personality a bit further and show a bit more of a timid her personality in the drawing as well. I also thought it would be it would be interesting for her to be like on her tippy toes in her fairy form, because I can do that and I feel like she would be hovering a bit. I've also made her quite a bit taller than everyone else, even though it's not that obvious in this drawing, but I've gone for lanky long for her. And also I changed the hair. I don't really know why I wanted to put her hair up, other than I just felt like it. I wanted to make sure her silhouette is different from Bloom's as well as Stella's, because first I wanted to give her like a loose ponytail, and then I keep thinking like, okay, but I gave Stella a ponytail, and then I also think Icy has a ponytail. Not the same type, but still. So I was at a bit of a loss for what to do for her hair, and then I remembered Tinkerbell has a nature fairy. She has braided hair, and that made me think, oh, I could use that. That could work in this scenario. It could work, and it did. It does work. Also, while I was looking at, I think her name's Fawn. I think it's the animal fairy's hair that has the braid, but Tinkerbell also has a nature or a flower fairy. All of them are nature fairies. Tinkerbell has a flower fairy. Has a southern accent, but I don't remember her name. It's not Rose, unless it is, and I'm looking very foolish right now. But she has. Her skirt flares out and folds in a way where it looks like a flower or flower petals, and I thought that would be neat for Flora's fairy outfit, this nature fairy, as well as I thought the top of the dress folding could also be a bit like a petal. Now, that being said, I was talking about Flora being interesting, in which, as a kid, I related to Flora the most. That being said, Bloom was my favorite character because of fire, and I like the color blue. I'm not sure if I like the color blue because I like Bloom, or I like Bloom because I like the color blue, but that's just confusing. Flora was interesting because she has in season 1 Aisha or Lila hasn't been introduced yet, so there's only 5 of them, and everyone except Flora has a love interest, right? And it's been introduced. as like a 6 or 7-year-old, I'm not very good at like picking up on the subtleties of any of that. So I'm just like, oh, that's what's happening. That this one's ending up with that one, and that one's ending up with this one, and all of them have someone except this one person who is Flora. So I just assume her like secondary plot like character, or like her the character that she's most involved with within the plot, other than the main five if we're including her. Because I don't know why, because everyone else was already taken, and I was just assuming like Flora is going to have a love interest during this season, because I was a 7-year-old who really liked having like everything fit together and be equal. So I assumed Flora has, I don't remember what her plot point was during season 1 in the first half of the season. That being said, I remember what it was in the second half of the season, because she pretty much, they go to Cloud Tower, which is the witches' school. There's Althea, which is the fairy school where the most of the story takes place, and then there's Cloud Tower, which is the witch school. Is there a difference between fairies and witches? Not really. They do magic, and but fairies turn into magic-y things and outfits. But you can transfer from one to another, which is proven by the character I'm going to talk about now, who is called Myrta, who I keep forgetting her name because I don't know how to pronounce it properly, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. But she is basically she's a witch. She isn't necessarily the best witch. She's kind of, I always, because I forget her name, I refer to her as like the goth one, which isn't really true, because that's just the witch aesthetic, apparently. That being said, I just liked the way she looked, so I remembered her a lot. And at one point, Myrta tries to help the Winx Club gang and gets turned in. Spoilers, it doesn't matter, it's old. Gets turned into a pumpkin by the Tricks. And lo and behold, Flora, being the nature fairy she realizes, why is there a pumpkin in the middle of the woods on its own at this time of year? This seems odd. I'ma take it home and look after you, because it's a precious pumpkin, right? So she takes Myrta, who's now a pumpkin who can't speak or do anything, back to Althea, and she spends the entirety of the rest of the entire season trying to figure out, like, having dreams, or kind of nightmares to be fair, of like this random person speaking to her in her dreams and asking for help and calling out her name and being like, help, I'm a pumpkin, save me please. And Flora goes, right, instead of thinking, right, I'm going a bit insane or anything like that, she's like, okay, she looks at the pumpkin and goes, oh, you're the one talking to me in my dreams. Okay, I will help you. The rest of the season, she's like doing schoolwork and staying up late and trying to figure out how to help this stranger to stop being a pumpkin. And again, the talking in dreams continues, and at all of this, like, whenever she says anything, like, she brings this up. This is a plot point that's brought up multiple times. Like, she brings this up with, like, the other four, and she's like distraught about this, and there's a build up to it, and it's literally a build up that lasts. Like, she's also like doing stuff in class, which is strange because she's actually she's actually pretty damn good at in schoolwork, but still. And like, this is a plot point that didn't get resolved until the final arc where everything went to bollocks and the world almost ended, which I feel like it might have been like the closest it ever actually like got to ending. But when she finally succeeds at managing to get this girl out to stop being a pumpkin and back to being a human again, or witch or fair, whatever, they have this like big embrace. First time meeting each other, their conversations were not that long. It's mostly like, hello, I'm a human, I'm a pumpkin, save me please. And Flora's like, aight, I will try. I will do my best. But it at the end, they have this very like emotional hug, and it's all sparkly and bright, and that's that. And in my 7-year-old brain, I'm like, that is her love interest. Because that's the one that this is the type of thing that the other ones did with like the specialists or the guy school, and Flora has this one. Yes, it makes sense. All of them have someone. There is peace in the world, and no, they don't. Actually, Myrta is seen in 1, maybe 2 scenes in season 2 as background characters who do not have voice lines. And I was looking forward to seeing her because I actually like her quite a lot. As a character, I like Myrta quite a lot as a character, so I'm just like, yes. So, when she doesn't get many or any lines, and she's pretty much not there, and I'm like, my 7-year-old brain assuming she's the love interest, that's that, and then realizing, no, she's not. Okay, who is it then? It's Helia. It's this new person who's not been introduced yet. And I go, but what about the other one? And the thing is, at that point, I was also thinking like, okay, she doesn't have to be the love interest, but she's still going to be a good friend, right? Right? Because Flora spent all this time actually helping her, and they have quite a bit in common, and they had this like bonding event which was like, you saved my life, thank you very much, we're friends now. At least like hang out every so often, you would acknowledge each other. No, they don't do that. So that's slightly annoying, and for a decent few episodes that Helia was there, I was quite annoyed with him and was very, very much like harsh with my personal, like, why are you here? No. And then the more he was on screen, which is, to be fair, is not a lot, which is probably why I like him more than the others, because he can't mess things up if he's not there that often. And then I thought, I was watching it as a kid, and I was thinking, Flora? He's actually the best out of all of them. I approve. Me, as a 7-year-old, approve of what a fictional teenager's love life is doing. That's what it was. I was judging a fictional teenager and then decided, you know what, she has good taste. Unlike Musa. Poor Musa. She deserves better. But yeah, by the end of season 2, I was like, okay, you have my stamp of approval. You're good. It's fine. It's okay. I'm still gonna be salty about Myrta not being involved in the show anymore or having any lines or plot relevance. But it's fine. I like Helia. It's okay. The problem is he also doesn't have any plot relevance. So I'm, again, not winning. But in the newest seasons, nobody has any plot relevance, so it doesn't matter. Um, but yes, that's it for today. Have a wonderful day, or evening, or whatever it is, and see you later. And goodbye.